lady says, what's wrong? I says, no, I haven't sensed, but I'm feeling 2 heartbeats. So I went to the VA and they did the ultrasound and said, oh, the 2 heartbeats is because you have an aneurysm. And we're going to have to do surgery, but it has to grow a certain size for the VA. That's the way it goes. So I kept going back every 6 months, and they would look at it, and finally it got to that size, so they did the surgery at Beaumont. What they do is, they cut you all the way open, they take all your guts out, set them on a table, then they take the disease part out, and they put another Y made of the Dacron in there, and then they shovel everything back. Well, yes, that's called major surgery.
Yeah.
However, I've always had this little attitude problem, and I did twice the physical therapy, basically dragging the IV up and down the hallways, right? So the surgeon, he said, dude, you've done twice the physical therapy, I'm gonna let you out a week early. So I was still leaking out of my belly button, but I called up my second favorite ex-wife, and she came and took care of me for a week at this house, when I'm living, and so I recovered. So yeah.
I mean, shit, the fact that, because some people, even the recoveries, those are tough recoveries. I mean, my dad just had open heart surgery, and he looked like shit after that. Like, he really did need the help afterwards. But the whole that, like that, great that you got past all that. That's intense. That's some hardcore surgery.
My favorite ex-wife, she lives in Virginia. We were married, we were divorced in 1988. She calls me every week from Virginia.
Oh, yeah?
Since 1988. She never remembered. Beautiful. Now she's in her early 70s, still beautiful blonde. We had a daughter, the daughter lives here. She's in her mid-40s. She's the one that she's coming Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for yoga. So we do yoga with her.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's always good that, I have it out there too.
We also smoke together.
Oh, that's great too.
You know what she does for a job? She sells investment wines online for one winery in Napa.
Oh, yeah, so she's basically just like, she's a rep, so yeah, she can, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
So we, the owners, Claude and Kathy, used to own a company in El Paso called American Garment Finishers. It was huge laundry, and they did stone washing and all that stuff, like back in the 80s. They were, Claude told me, he says, I'm pulling $50,000 a week after tax out of this laundry. So,
After taxes?
After taxes. So he and Kathy, I know her for many years, she's party animal. Anyway, they're in the 70s and 80s now. Anyway, they bought a winery, and since Claude was from France, he knew about winemaking.
Yeah.
So now, okay, the cheap wine is $150. The expensive wine is $500. They only sell it by the case.
Okay, that's the case.
A couple years ago, I worked on an offering, doing paperwork, spreadsheets, etc. for that, just helped out. I recognized half of the wine list of the customers from Hollywood. So, a non-typical customer.
What up, Edwin? Big M, that guy, what's going on now? Good to see you. I'm just gonna fucking stock up real quick, and then we'll start with the game, and the people start coming in, alright? Good to see both of y'all, man.
So when she started her training, it was 18 now.
Oh, that's great. What is it now?
Well, she just told me that she bought a brand new car, and she said, I made easily more than twice what I made. She was managing a print shop. Yeah. So she's really.
That's great. I mean, there's something that
sounds
pretty laid back. Well, not laid back. I mean, there's work to be done, but it sounds like some good money and stuff like that.
The company's in California, so she doesn't start till 9, but she didn't think to knock off those sales. So from 7:30 to 8:30, now she's home in my house and we're doing yoga.
Oh, yeah.
And, I want it to be, I kind of let myself get sedentary after that surgery. I want to build myself back up. I am kind of old,
There's always time to think.
but you know what?
Stay healthy.
I have in my room the very first thing that I did in my life. I had a portrait of my grandfather. I did that portrait, and this was in the 70s. The way the people was at 90. Now I know. Oh, he didn't have a beard, but, he still had his hair too. I still have my hair, which is not so much my favorite.
Chile, my guy, what's going on here? John a bit.
They had 5 girls and 5 boys. And,
right there.
you can see, again, in my morning. Okay. So, my mom's side of the family came from Scotland in 1750. The family was right. They wanted to take their land and send them down to Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
They hated both the Scots and the Irish. Instead, my family got the passage and came over here. That was on mom's side. In the first census in 1790, we were already in fact, somebody from my family has been in every war, including the rest why I went to Vietnam. I volunteered, and in fact, I went to my dad and said, you know, your brothers and sisters are going to college. Why are you going to Vietnam? I said, I feel an obligation of the family that somebody's got to be in war. There's been something.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of lineage of
I had an aunt who was a English driver in France in World War II. She told me great stories of midnight runs to Paris being chased by the Nazis. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, I inherited some stuff after a relative died, and within that stuff, I found poetry handwritten by one of my ancestors who was captured in the Civil War. It was in a southern prison in a war camp. And that is poetry we wrote that. So
cool. That's cool. I mean, that honestly, that's I'm pretty sure the database, I mean, that's historical. Very many ways. That's
back started building my daughter. I had my aunt and uncle. One of my aunt and uncles, they became missionaries in Africa for 4 years.
wow.
My aunt wrote a book called The Other Side of Missionary Life, and it's like an adventure novel.
No, it definitely is. I mean, I knew, boy, I used to work with African people. I said that because it was like a little bit expensive, but it is like, go, it's like, missionary work out, like, Jesus Christ. Like, yeah, let's see here in the U.S. with a little bit of stuff. Wow.
What religion?
Police Mormon.
Oh, Mormons, okay. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he was a pretty nice guy. He gave me a Mormon Bible too, but he was genuinely good. I mean, most Mormons have like really good chats.
I've met Mormons, but I really don't know anything about Mormons. I was brought up in the Lutheran,
Oh, Lutherans.
but, oh, man.
No,
They're hardcore.
Yeah, the Lutherans are
hardcore. So we moved out of Niagara Falls when I was 9. And we only moved 5 miles, but we moved into a farmstead, 3 acres, amidst other farmsteads. It was like another world. And I loved it. That's a good one. I loved it. And, but, my lesson they came to Amsterdam, they became friends with the Pilgrims. So they came over in 1620 on my dad's side. And they were, my dad's side were, not my dad, but his family were kind of snobs. Like my grandfather, his father was first chair Philadelphia Philharmonic, he played the violin. They were complete snobs. My dad he wasn't. In fact, my dad had a jazz band in the 30s.
Oh, that's cool.
He was a trip. When he went to sign up in the 40s for the military, for the World War II, they found out he had taught himself nuclear physics by writing the libraries in the 1930s. They put him on the Manhattan Project on the bomb.
I was about to say, it's like, I mean, that's what it takes. I mean, all that, in regards to like the mission control for like old message shit, like that stuff, is that like, I was like, my sister went down over there. I didn't, but, you know, she was like, well, that's right. I mean, everything was like, hey, analog, you gotta, there ain't no computers that calculate your problems. They would calculate the problems on hand. They'd come up with the
A
problem.
lot of women too.
Yeah.
Were doing it, yeah.
I mean, honestly, that was
Are you
the
from,
definition of
from El Paso?
Yeah, yeah, I'm from here. Most all my blood is from here. We should even do an ancestry test here. I mean, yeah, my family's been down on this river valley for like hundreds of years. Then the other part of me is fucking Spaniards. But yeah,
Mexico has always gone through this thing, like, for 10 years, they vilify the Indios and put up the Spanish side up in the air. Then another 10 years, they vilify the Spanish and
they do kind of shift around with that.
Interesting.
But it's a lot better than what we got over here, because now they're just
Well,
playing in each
my daughter did the ancestry. Okay, and I was thinking, finally, we're gonna get to find out about the Indian princess in the family.
Right.
There's always an Indian princess in the family back east, you know, for people that have real old families.
Oh, yeah.
So it came back and it said, yeah, 50% Scots, 50% Dutch. No Indian princess in the family.
Well, I mean, it's just like it just means that for your particular, like, you never know, someone, some stray brother from back then.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my dad always said, no, don't think so smart. There might be some Native Americans in our past because they were changeable. He said, so you're not better than anybody.
Hugo, good to see you. Good to have you, matchmakers. You too, man. How you doing today?
They went to
We got a warm day in the UK. Makes it.
We couldn't stay in.
Usually it's raining. Oh, really?
Hey, couldn't call anybody.
Let's see. What's up? My access the throat goat. Okay, bro.
Because there's people in Africa that their future is starvation. I know that because of my uncle.
Hey, Kenji.
I mean, it's a great place.
I'm okay. I guess I'm alright, bro.
Well, it's right now with this hurricane.
Did you ever hear of the How Duty Club? It was a TV program, a long one.
I remember, yeah, the How Do You Do show, yeah.
1 year for my birthday, my parents, I got to go, I was in the peanut gallery with the How Do You Do show.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
And for my sister, my older sister, and I, almost like another generation, the other kids came later.
Okay.
They sent her to the American Bandstand.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
That's where she got her reputation, because she found out there's a couple of white kids that crammed together and put the cameras on, all of the kids were black. But they wouldn't show them, they would only show the white kids. So she said, this is reality, I learned reality. My reality was, I was in the peanut gallery, and it was like, yay.
Yeah, reality hits everyone different.
My dad was a trip. My dad took me free climbing up the Niagara Falls, 200 feet, free climbing, no lines, when I was 8. My mom's castigating me, says, he's only 8 years old. My dad said, yeah, he climbs like a monkey.
Yeah, right?
But when I was 14, my dad taught me how to turn any semi-automatic into a full automatic. Just the weight. I had a Ruger, and I had altered just the weight of it.
Drink a sweater, make you feel great. I actually brought one with me, fool. I have one with me. Let me get it. Hold on.
It's like, well, also, when I was 3 years old, my dad was remodeling our first house, and usually they told the 3-year-old kids, stay here. Yeah. As soon as they left the room, they had a hole in the room going down the basement, and so I decided I could jump across. Well, I didn't make it, I fell on my head.
Oh.
I blinded his eye. So, but I've always felt that I could do this as good as anybody. so I first tried to join the Air Force, where they caught the blind eye.
And
no.
you need perfect vision.
Then I went to the Navy and I memorized the eye chart with my good eye, and so I passed. They didn't discover my blind eye until I was in the hospital in Hawaii. I had broke this hand, but it wasn't bad. It was an accident. So while I was there, they said,
You examined your eye.
and they said, hey, if I happen to be honest and found out that I told the story, the next day the suit up. They said, you're the guy we want. We're going to give you your own Swift boat, and we're going to give you a battlefield promotion of chief warrant officer. And just got to sign up for 4 more years. And I said, dude, they've been shooting at me for a couple of years. I am not going to go back. I ended up going back for another year, but I didn't.
I did the whole.
What I did for kind of fun, I did go on some missions on the Swift boats, and they're seriously trying to kill you. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We, you know, like Terry Thompson, 45
Get you, Justin.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah. Back then, that's kind of
Hey,
cool, 'cause
I can't answer the phone here, fool.
With the 50
What, the
drum,
electrolyte?
50 bullet drum.
Electrolyte?
I used to carry it like
Coconut, man.
I
Coconut.
never ran into warm rain before, but in the monsoon, the rain was warm. And so when I stood guard, I carried that piece upside down, and I lined it with
Look at me.
these grenades, were not the pineapple. So you pull the pin,
Yeah,
you drop it in the
finally,
water.
good stuff.
I would wait to see the air
So
bubbles.
fuckers, so stuff was going
So
on.
I drop
Good
it
to see you with that in there.
anywhere within 500 feet, circle underwater, it kills everything. So the VC and the fish would float up.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a
Yeah.
So no snow. No, I need one. I need that.
Like that, it's a fucking strong.
Yeah, I like the blue raspberry too,
They
man.
would, at night, and they always wore black, and so at night, they would swim underwater and then they would try to climb up on the side of the boat.
And these always
Time
fucking
that they attack.
like into a slushy. They're
I
fucking good.
panicked,
They're
and
good
I'm
as
shooting
fuck.
this guy.
What's up,
And I
Jennifer?
learned
Good to see you.
later,
Good to have you. How you doing? Is that water? No.
There was one time there was so many attacking, we got out the damn fire hoses and knocked them off.
Yeah, might as well just to get them off the damn ship.
Yeah.
You're on a boat, shit, damn, that.
Yeah.
That shit is
I
good.
mean,
That shit is good, man.
You're
I
going up and down
love
the
fucking
river.
coconut.
Right? Or just,
we had missions where we had to get rid of our uniforms.
you get let in and stuff with them?
Those missions are redacted. When I go online,
Oh, yeah?
my mission.
Takes the
they're
shakes
redacted.
away from
Still
it.
redacted.
The shakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fuck?
We were.
There's one little chopped up.
So it's a long time ago and it doesn't matter.
Hey, fool, you gonna come through or what?
Uh,
I can't answer the phone, but if you message me, I can message you back. But that's about it, man.
We blew up the Chinese ships. Fuck 'em. And-
I was about to say, fucking too, yeah.
And so there's a bay that, in the bay is a little island. And this was 67, early 67. These dudes were received, and they told me, like, look like poker right? And they said, you know what, stay up tomorrow night. We're supposed to go and capture, there's 25 Chinese and Russian intelligence agents on that island, keeping track of the shipping. We're supposed to capture them so that we can interrogate them. And this guy, he said, I'm not gonna capture them, we're gonna run them out into the water and kill everyone. And he says, stay up tomorrow night. We'll launch a flare, see if we launch us. That's exactly what they did. They murdered everyone.
See why it's redacted, I was like, well, the
Oh,
Chinese
shit.
were on the Russian shit, yeah, they wouldn't wanna keep
So-
that ship redacted. So who's that, the man?
I'm gonna take off.
Oh, yeah, okay, have a good one, Colonel, be safe out there.
All right. You'll have the story next week?
Yes, yes, we will.
Thank you.
Have a good one, man.
Oh, yeah, you're the one I talked to.
Yes, sir.
Bring it here, brother. I'm true to my word.
Appreciate it.
There it is, and Sergeant made a good price, you guys, I'll be back. So I just live on top of that.
Oh, yeah,
I knew the guy that did the Bronco. The guy that did the sculpture, I knew him. His son did the sculpture of plastic alligators downtown.
Yeah.
Oh, and
not
here's the creepy part. He was working on a sculpture, it fell over and killed him.
Yeah, no, it is.
All the artists. You know that big sculpture at the airport, the equestrian, the guy on the horse? I know the guy that did that. Well, he's passed away now, but that guy, he had 3 studios in Mexico. The guy that did that big horse.
Yeah, the
he
white-
wasn't-
white
yeah,
one?
yeah. He was. I took a face painting class with him. It lasted 2 days. Here's how he would teach me. He would walk behind my easel and say, "Think, Carl. What would they God do?" Yeah, that's how that's how I learned. And he was an excellent teacher. So yeah, I got an art degree from UTEP. I ran print shops. That's what I did until I retired. But then I went back to UTEP for science, and then I taught at Wigs for a while. I called them my wig guys. I liked them. They were cool. I never had a discipline problem in my class.
That's great.
They were, I found a book called The Private Center Well. Have you ever heard of it?
I don't think I've ever heard of it.
You ever hear of it? Okay, a century ago, these ladies went down to Mexico, gathered up legends, and made a book called The Private Center Well. The only story I'd ever heard of in that book was La Llorona.
Oh, okay. All
That's
right.
all.
If that's where all that stuff, yeah, then.
So these legends are Mayan, Aztecan, Spanish, and Mexican. And so I took and read chapters to the kids. They'd never heard these stories here. I'd never heard them before. Like the Private Sacred Well, she was a princess at Chichen Itza.
Oh, yeah.
But she fell in love with an Aztecan prince, and so he had her moved. Well, when they had a drought there, the princess was supposed to throw herself in the snow tank. So she kept getting these visions, stuff that she needed to go back to the cenote and go back. And, you know, the prince didn't want her to leave. That means you're going to die, you know. She threw herself in at the end of the story. One thing the kids like is all the stories were bloody.
Yeah, I will say, if it's Aztec blood,
They love these stories. And I said, you mean no other teachers told you these stories? No, we never heard of them. Cool, huh? So I looked it up, and there's still a couple, there's still a couple available on the Amazon of that book, right? Sacred Well. The Bells of Culiacan is a friar, Catholic friar, found this, there still exists, the pools there near Culiacan. And one night a year, this princess from 500 years ago would appear. Well, he fell in love with her. It was such a cool story. They had all these stories. And I asked the kids, The Bride of the Sacred Well. Check it out. Yeah, you know what? In the summer, I had boys come to my house and want to do my yard work. And so what I did is I said, okay, this is going to be set up as a job. You're going to bid on the job. How much an hour are you going to make? What are you going to do? And they did. And I did that for a couple of summers, and then I found out, dude, you got to get a lawyer because you didn't have the parents' permission. You know? But nobody did anything, but I stopped doing that, you know. But before I stopped, though, I tried to get permission to take some of these kids. Do you know where Viola School is? It's in Sunset Heights, old grade school. I wanted to take some of those kids to the Gila camping because I know those kids ain't been to camping.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get it, especially these
Well, anyway, they said you can't get permission because it's another state. So, because my wife was going to do it too, she wanted. At the time, I was married to a woman who taught at the medical school in Wyoming, and she taught sociology. And I flat out told her I thought sociology was bogus, but she said bogus, but she was pretty smart. But anyway, yeah, I had a good time teaching these kids. That was a lot of fun. And none of the other teachers said, how the hell do you get along so well with these kids? They're animals. You know, I said, well, one of the reasons is because I was an animal when I was an asshole when I was a kid. Oh man, I I mean, I should have been a junior. In fact, my mother said, I expect you to be in junior, you know. The other kids in my family they told the line, they were so nice. In fact, my sister told me, you know, if you just go along, you know, if you just go along, it would be a lot easier. And I said, I will never go along.
Well, shit, good thing you did. You want to have all those stories of backpacking and
Oh, yeah.
going up and down
Oh,
and
shit.
all that stuff.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Life would have been duller at sea.
Bears coming into the campsite?
Yeah, that's really far.
Yeah. Twice I've had bears in the campsite.
And shit, even though the boat missions that you were on, I mean, that
Oh,
sounds
man.
intense. I mean, you could write a book off
Fucking
that.
scary
I mean,
shit, dude.
Action film or something.
No shit, it was.
Yeah, it sounds like one.
There's a movie that I lived, and that's called Apocalypse Now.
I was about to say, it sounds
That-
like you were living apocalypse
I
now.
was.
Like, I was
did.
like, holy
I
shit.
did. Shit. Oh, man, and I'm not even telling you, I'm going to tell you some of the things that made me question my humanity that I did. But I'll just tell you that those people that tell you torture doesn't work, I am here to tell you it does work, because we discovered weapons that were covered up with rice. Well, that's how we discovered the weapons. Sorry to say, and to this day, I know when I die, I'm gonna have to answer for what I did. I know that, but.
I mean, that old adage, war is hell, is true.
Oh, man, so it's been good talking with you guys.
Oh, no problem.
And you will get that Stoli, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, we will. I already
Yeah.
found who got it and stuff. I just
The
need to
reason I
order it.
like Stoli, because of all the vodkas, that's the one that I can take a straight shot, it doesn't bother my stomach.
All right.
I can't drink scotch anymore.
No.
It tears me up. Scotch, I used to be a scotch drinker, but it tears me up now, so, you know?
Yeah, we'll definitely find the Stillies. I mean, I already found that. Just need to order it.
When I was a boy, in the summer, my parents would kick all of us out of our rooms and make us sleep in tents in the backyard. They would have heavenly parties that lasted the whole weekend. They'd bring their adult friends in. Our family was the ones the neighbors talked about. We were the ones, yes. Yeah. Our family had the most fun. We were the ones, yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, both my parents. My mom looked like Lucille Ball. She had red hair and turquoise eyes, and man, when she was pissed, you knew it. But she ran that house, and every, you know, it was 5 kids. And then plus, back in the old days, there was no welfare, and so my parents said, it's our duty to take 2 kids from the neighborhood
Yeah, that aren't doing
that
so
were
well.
from divorced parents. One kid Joey stayed 8 years.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've known family members that have done that, you know, family member, I mean, shit, not always family member, but, you know, someone ain't doing so well, so we gotta bring in the kid and, you know, I've gotta raise them, the people gotta raise them.
Well, back in the old days, they looked down on out of wedlock marriage.
Yeah.
And so I remember we took in my cousin and her brother, and she got kicked out of her family because of getting pregnant. We just let her have the kid at our house, and then they went back and dealt with it. But, you know, I mean, I have 75 cousins I've never met in Pennsylvania. That family, I mean, I feel like a Mexican dude. That family, they rent Parker Dam State Park for a reunion every year. It's so huge. Yeah.
I mean, when she was 75, and then 75 times however much that's spread out, that's a gigantic fucking group right there.
I 2 years ago, I got a lawyer, and I looked up all of my cousins in Africa. Still have a bunch of cousins in Africa. They're white, but they're African Americans.
And you just need family in Asia now. You got them all over. Well, in Australia and Asia, you got clan all over.
Oh, I enjoy saying I probably do have family in Asia. You know what? Another funny story. They kept me in Vietnam too long, my first tour, and so this also went insane and threw some of our records over the side. And so we were asking a group of us, how come we're still in Vietnam? Everybody else it's gone, you know, they're going back to the States. When are we going to go? Then they got us together and said, well, this also went insane. So here's what we're going to do for you. If you don't say anything, we'll give you a paid month in Japan and then another paid month in the States. So I took it. So I stayed in Japan for a month, all paid, went all over Japan, it was great, it was like a tourist. Then I got another month, and I stayed in Anaheim, California, and then I went up to San Francisco, 1967. I was up at Haight-Ashbury, Summer of Love, so I spent 3 months at Haight-Ashbury, and I mean, I got to be in the concert, the first concert that Jefferson Airplane did when they came off the world tour in San Francisco. Oh yeah, it was great. It was so much fun. And then I had to go back for another year to Nam after that. That sucked. So I got to come home Christmas of '68. So I was there. I entered January 1st of '66. I stayed till October of '67, so I got those 3 months, and then I went back over and stayed all of '68 till Christmas. Then I finally got to come home, and I'm alive, you know, and so that was a big effect on me, you know. And when I got to El Paso, it was like this paradise, you know. Don't have to show snow.
Yeah, that's a big thing. You just gotta deal with the heat and the wind, but that's not as much.
More people die in the cold than.
Yeah, I don't like the cold. I don't like the cold. I don't like the heat either, but I prefer to be burned up than fucking freezing.
Well, that's why when I do my lawn, I get up like, I get into it at 7 o'clock. And then, once I finish the lawn mowing, then I get the rest of the day to smoke and drink.
Anyways, I need to go use the John oven.
I've been really enjoying talking with you guys. It's a lot of fun. I hope that this works out. I hope that you...
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna stay in it as long as we can stay in it.
Yeah, I hope so, because I was jonesing for a local place like Cowboy.
Cowboy.
You know, because all you gotta do is drive over and you don't have to, you know, worry about, you know, I'm driving that old Jimmy. That's 33 years old.
It's pretty good for 33.
I still have the original window sticker. I do, yeah. The only thing I've done is put those K2 tires. That's all. But this originally was a special order. And so when you're gonna do repairs, like I did the starter, there was only one starter available. And no rebuilds. You had to buy it brand new. But the joke was on them. I ended up paying $40 less than I would for a rebuilt one from an auto parts store. But I had to buy that original one. So it's, tell you what, the engine's never been open. The engine has never been open. Yes, I've replaced the starter, I replaced the water pump and the alternator, but the head's never been on.
It's a goddamn good machine.
When I take the air cleaner off and look into the throttle body, because I got throttle body cleaner, never use it because it's always perfectly clean. And I change the oil. I change the oil because I don't drive a lot. I change it by the color of it and I feel it. And if it's not gritty and the color's still somewhat clear, okay, I wait. And whenever I change the oil filter, I change the air filter. And because that vehicle's so old, the oil filter and the air filter combined are less than $10. Yeah. And I mean, I drive like an old man. I used to, in the 70s, I built sand rails and dune buggies. I was at the Red Sands every weekend in the old days. And then in the 80s, I did the parking lot stuff for the SCCA, you know, with a 914 Porsche. And I drove that Porsche on Highway 54, 160. It was fast. And my dune buggies were fast too. But now, I'll do my own work, you know, but that's it. I'm not as much of a mechanic as I used to be. I used to do everything, but now I'm getting too old. So I concentrate more on guitar. Oh, and when I retired, I discovered online video gaming.
Oh, I was about to say, no, that's a good place here. Probably the only bolt head that's actually set, because there's another veteran, well, he was in the Navy, and he kind of goes a little bit crazy because he doesn't really know. It's like, why don't you just buy a gaming system or something and just enjoy a couple games? You'll be fine. There's plenty of mature games out there for all types of fun.
It increases your hand-eye coordination, in my opinion. I like those games like Call of Duty, the Far Cry series, the Just Cause series, that kind of stuff. I like it, you know. My friends say you're insane, but I talk to their kids about it, you know.
No, yeah. I mean, those games are good. You should try Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah, I've heard all about it. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption. The one I want to try next is see because I'm poor. Basically, I wait until a couple of years until